Listen, just because you have it doesn't mean always give it. There's some people that'll see how far they can go to try to pull out of you as much as they can pull out. But if they keep pulling and they keep pulling, then after a while, there's not going to be anything there for them to pull. And if you're at the bottom, they're not going to support you the same way you supported them when they was at the bottom. All they're going to do is move on to the next person and try to pull from them. So whether it's money or whether it's favors or whatever it is, just because you have it and just because you can do it doesn't mean always do it. When someone's pulling on you too consistently, I understand people need at times, but if it's too consistent, they're trying to see how far they can go. There's other options that they might not want to use. For example, some people don't want to go to the pawn shop. They know they can take that chain and go and pawn it. The problem with that is the pawn shop don't play. If you don't pay, they don't play. So it's easy for them to tell a family member or a friend, loan me this, loan me that, and I'll give it back to you next week. Because if they fail to give it back to you next week, they know that they can just tell you they'll give it to you the following week. And they'll just keep on pushing it back further and further until eventually, even if they don't pay, the only thing that you're going to say is you've burned your bridge, you can't get it no more. Not until you pay back what you owe. And they'll say, okay, I'll walk away with a burned bridge. I won't cross there no more. I'll just go find somebody else to do the same thing to. But when it comes to the pawn shop, if you pawn something and you say you're going to pay on it in 30 days, if you don't pay on it in 30 days, that's their product. And they're going to sell it and you're not going to get it. So that's the thing. You got to keep your word when it comes to contracts and stuff like that. So that's the thing. They don't want to be in no contract. They feel like it's easier to just come to you and ask you for the money or whatever it is. So be smart. Think about yourself. Just because you have it doesn't mean always do it. Just because you can doesn't mean always do it. Sometimes you gotta let people do stuff on their own, or find out the other options. Because it's not that you don't want to help. It's that when you do help, then they look at you as the direct connection. So they'll keep coming to you for it, or you for the favor, or you for the help, because you do it all the time. So you've built up this like resume with them where they find you as a dependable person that they can depend on. And you should never let anybody depend on you like that, where you become like this little god in their life, where every time something goes on, you're the genie that they rub and get you to come out of this little vase or whatever it is to grant their wish. No, you can't do that. And besides, when you help them over and over again, one time that you don't do it, they're going to look at that one time that you don't do it, mistreat you because you didn't do it one time, and forget about the 1,000 times that you did do it when you was the one that was there all along. And all of a sudden they forgot about that, and they remember the one time that you didn't do it and held that against you and decided to treat you funny. Listen, be real. You got to think about yourself. You do. You got to be important to yourself. And you got to treat yourself like yourself is important. And stop worrying about what everybody else got to say and what they think about you and all of that. You can't be the wonder and you can't jump for everybody. Sometimes you got to think about you and you got to jump for you. You got to take care of yourself. And you can't take care of everybody and take care of yourself. You just can't do it. It doesn't work that way. And you shouldn't even try, because the expectations of you become be my hero. You get labeled as the hero, and they expect it from you all the time. So don't do that. The only people that you really need in your life is the people that is going to be just as generous to you, just as supportive to you, just as good to you as you are to them. If they're not, they're there to pull down. You know, if all they're doing is pulling from you, but they're not trying to add to you or encourage you in any kind of way. I know they might not have the resources that you have, maybe not financially or whatever it is that you have, they can't give that back. But what they can do is they can at least be respectful and not constantly, on a consistent, regular basis, keep asking you for stuff and not give you no break. Don't do that. Don't let them. Don't listen. Don't let them pull on you like that.